execution is going to be big in this game. And I know last year sometimes we'd be in really close games and it'd just be like one player would just like be the decision, between us winning a game and losing a game. And it happened a lot last year, and so I remember going into that game, we were like, if we can just make that one play and we can make sure that we get that right, then we should win this game, obviously. Because, it wasn't like we were, ever putting ourselves in not bad situations, but it wasn't like we ever weren't in the game. So I think this year is going to be a similar thing. Like I said, this year is going to be executing everything, because as long as we execute, we're in the game.
What makes you think you can execute now? Like last year, the offense struggled, the entire year, and then all of a sudden they put it together against Ohio State. This year, there's been a lack of consistency in a lot of areas. Why? Why would this be a time for you guys to turn it up on the road against another highly ranked team?
I think, like I said, it's just the nature of the game. I think it's the nature of the rivalry that as soon as, Ohio State's in the heads, like everything is just like almost like laser-like focus. Like everything that you're sitting here like, maybe Monday on another week you're not in in Schembeck or watching film or so, but this week yesterday everyone's in here, everyone's let me get like another hour and a half making sure that we're watching everything, let me make sure I'm paying extra close attention to my keys, like personally, looking at the linebackers, and I think that's what plays a really big part in these kind of games.
Going back to the psychological aspect, preparing for Ohio State, is there maybe a concern about getting too overhyped for this game, or how does your team kind of maintain its keel?
I think a whole lot of that is just staying focused on like what we need to do and not sitting there and getting out of hand, just doing everything like wild. It's still doing everything precise, doing everything tempo, keeping everything on time, keeping everything right courses, right routes, right timing on our throws. So that's really what keeps us kind of tapered, because you can't just go wild on every play like, that's not going to work. So really just sticking to our bread and butter, sticking to our plays, that's going to keep us level, because practice, you can't go into practice just wild, because then you're not doing everything right, you're not keeping focused.
And on game day, you can't psych yourself out either. It's easy to get very overwhelmed by that environment as well. What do you do during that when you're in that environment to really maintain that?
I think, as a team, we're going to be focused on us, and we're going to be focused on getting the job done. Just going down there and having a high-level execution, I think that's really what we need to do. And, if we're focused on that, I don't think we're going to get too wild down there, because more people are going to be focused on their jobs and their assignments more so than they are going to be the crowd around them, because, I think that's really the factor that drives people nuts, is like all these fans and, the other teams like trying to get in your head, and as long as you're focused on your job, it doesn't happen.